Hi all, welcome to another Banter Blitz at chess24, and it's around 11:30 AM right now, just waiting for my preview screen, and I'm going to show you the discount code, which is Kingscrusher. If you look at here, there's a voucher code, so you get a whopping 15% off with this voucher code, Kingscrusher. So with this, you can challenge the likes of Magnus Carlsen, very, very strong grandmasters generally, and bunnies like me. And that's the doorbell. I'm hoping someone else will get it. Okay, so this voucher code, bear that in mind. Okay. Okay, someone is guessing it. That's cool. Okay. So we'll go on to the challenges page. That's great timing, isn't it? Go to the challenges and pick off the first challenge today. Always blame the mouse. Okay, always blame the mouse. I'll go with E5 here. I hope, let me know if audio and visual is okay once you see this game in progress. So with this, I'm trying to intensify pressure on the dark squares with like bishop g7. So this interrupts my center, though d4 immediately. Okay, so changing the dynamics. Maybe double pawns result here. Okay, save the fraction of a second with a pre-move there. Is it possible I might want to play h5? Is that too risky? If he castles, I'm holding c6 for the moment. Can I play a cheeky h5 just to provoke h4, weakening g4? This might be handy, so I'm going to go for that. On bishop g5, f6, I'd have to unpin, otherwise bishop takes c6. I'm just trying to weaken more here for the moment. So h4, say bishop g4. I thought this is mildly interesting. If he plays f3, then he's clearly weakening the diagonal. So h4, bishop g4. Okay, this I can kind of unpin the knight. Otherwise, bishop c6. I can actually plow on now. I didn't expect this to be allowed. So if I've got an active rook, I think this is justifying actually even more h5. I'm quite happy here in certain respects. Maybe bishop d7 frees up my knight for knight f5 after hg, knight f5, which would hit the bishop. So I can arrange this sort of thing now, I think. Bishop d7, that's all the knights kind of overloaded on c6 and g6 there anyway. So there might be a tactic at some point with bishop, distracting the knight. But now that I've secured c6, I'm wondering hg, if fg, knight f5, okay, I'm hitting the bishop. But otherwise, if hg, I'm activating this rook. I think this is an interesting position. I mean, I could be being wildly optimistic. Oh, this way, okay, okay. There's dangers lurking here beneath, like potentially this diagonal. Okay, queen e7, I think, is playable. I think. Am I overextending? Should my king be on f8 or f7 or something? Okay, put this back there. Maybe knight f7 is a bit cozy. I've seen Magnus Carlsen have in a bullet game anyway, a knight coming back to f7. Possibly position a g5 And then knight e5. Knight d5, cd, ed, knight e5, I believe. So if I can get away with g5 and knight e5, the knight will be looking good on e5. So g5 and knight e5. I think I'm going to go for that. Okay, b5 is a clear and imminent danger, though. Okay, maybe against that. I could drop a7, though. That is a point. Alright, I might have to think about this. Drop a7. Just to get out of b5. So, I don't know, g5, knight e5. Mind you, again, maybe a6 on bishop e3. a6. Hold up the pawn for a moment, not lose the pawn. Queen a4 if he wants the pawn. But his queen's going over to this side of the board. Okay, this immediately threatens things like rook h2, knight g4. Rook h2 for knight g4 or knight g4. That looks dangerous for me, the active rook on the h file here now. I'm also hitting c4, but that's coincidental to my main focus here, I think. So rook takes h2 or knight g4. Which is stronger? I think rook h2 provides support for bishop g4. Bishop h3, if takes, there's a few pieces there, or knight g4 after. In the meantime, you know, CD, I'm just wondering structurally, like rook d6 or knight d5. I don't know, knight d5, maybe that's an issue. I'm going to go with this for a moment. Okay. So let's see. I don't want to lose 3 pieces to the queen. Bishop h3, king takes. Knight g4, king takes. It's like 3 pieces for the queen being lost. Here, bishop h3 though is not. Yes, it is, or is it not? Bishop h3 takes knight g4. Takes knight f2. It's 3 pieces of the queen. I don't think that's very clever. I think I'll do something more conservative than bishop h3. I'm just thinking knight g4. And then a sort of arrangement, bishop f8, queen h7, rook h1, threatens sometimes. I think knight g4, knight g4, knight g4. More conservative than bishop h3. He might sack the queen for 3 pieces. Okay. Okay. No, I don't know. I think I want to remove this loose piece liability actually now. If I have knight e5, I think that's comfortable anyway. Knight e5. Right, so there's bishop g4 if nothing else. Okay, if I take with this f pawn, because I'm thinking if I took with the queen knight d5, trying to pin my queen, potentially I'll take this guy off. And I think using the f file, if I played queen f7, right, d5 seems plausible. d4. Right, my king's a bit awkward actually. I think I need my king away from light squares, or protect. Oh, blimey! Protect g6 and e6. That'd be clever. Okay, he's done well. So far, this bishop's not doing anything. I'll exchange it off for this guy. Oh, bit of attack. Whoa. I think I should take this off. Just simplify things. Oh, it didn't recapture. Alright, I think the lesser evil was just h4 from white on h5. I think I activated the rook. It was a bit dangerous activating the rook. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I think it seems okay anyway to activate the rook. Okay, thanks for the game, Olaf. Right. I'll try King's Engine attack, which I reviewed, of course, at Chessable recently, which, by the way, I think has been acquired now by Magnus Carlsen. So I think I feel a bit easier mentioning Chessable. I think that's okay. So Magnus has been building the empire, the world champion empire. So okay. So let's see. Yeah, so I recently checked out this King's Engine attack course, and I thought, hang on, it's got a point with e4 to start off with rather than the Reti knight f3, which gives some options like a reverse London system, which I dread in general, playing against the London system when I play the King's Engine defense rather than attack. So once I discovered I could avoid the London system with the e4 move order of the King's Engine attack, that grabbed my attention. And it's the way Fischer he didn't start with knight f3 the Reti generally. I think he just started with e4 and got a King's Engine attack after that with e4, d3, knight d2, etc. Okay, so I don't know, h4 here seems attractive. What's the response to h4 here? Is it h5? Because it weakens, hi Peter M1. It weakens g5 if h5 is played. I keep thinking it's going to weaken g5 here. So we've got reverse logic. It does mean, I think black's got a nice f5 square to play with here, for sure. Nice f5 square. However, let's see what I can do with that. Can I just kick the knight? Encourage hg, queen g4 with h5 to follow. The pawn's always pinned to the rook. My queen side's under pressure. There might be a better, more sensible way of playing this position. b4, there's a5 though. Looking at forcing moves here, they don't seem to do anything. b4, a5, maybe rook b1 there. I think I will try and clamp down. Let's see, a5, rook b1 is potential. Just to clamp down on c5, bit of prophylaxis against c5. Can I justify that? a5, rook b1, ab, rook b4. Okay, things are interesting. I think a4, try and get this sort of stranglehold. Knight h4 is a tactic to undermine g5, but it's held by the bishop at the moment. I think a5, b5, a5, b5, c5. Maybe that's not clever, although there's bishop a3 potentially. That might need more thinking about. For the moment, let's just do this. Less committal. I'm thinking a4, a5, b5, c5 is annoying. That c5 seems annoying. It's the one I want to stop, not encourage. Sometimes c5. What's this? Well, I will accept this. There is... Okay, I'll lose another pawn. I'll gain a tempo on the queen. I'll lose another pawn. Okay. But it is a piece. Oh, castle now, I think. Otherwise d4 is coming. It is a piece sack, right? That's interesting. There's a pawn sack here. What's this bishop g6? And then knight f7 looks crushing. Because I'm attacking the queen and the bishop. Well, that's just forking the king and queen. Okay, unlucky there, Olaf. Yeah, okay. Okay, maybe the threat of some sort of strangulation encouraged the piece sack. I was speaking to a friend from Barnet Chess Club recently, and I was saying to him about sort of my 3-point checklist. I might do a video on soon. My 3-point checklist for chess, and I was hoping maybe you'd find it exciting. So check all checks, check for downsides of the last move, or the position generally. So there's 3 points in there, and he commented he'd played someone's was it son or daughter recently, and the parent asked, well, how did the game go? And I don't know if this is the thing you should sort of say to a parent. Oh, I strangulated them on the chessboard, that is. I strangled them on the chessboard. And I thought, so Martin, you're saying that there's different types of assassination style, strangulation. Because actually, if you look at games of Magnus Carlsen against Judith Polgar, it seems he uses that method, trying to suppress the counterplay, like Karpov, strangulation. Karpov has been sometimes known as, or is it that sort of strangulating python or something? So yeah, I think strangulation is a legitimate style, but I tend not to really deliberately go for it. I think I'm more going for the king. If there was such a thing as an assassination style, I think I'm more going for the king. That's more kind of hack attack. But yeah, we've got this weird conversation recently I thought I'd share about styles of assassination on the chessboard. And it just occurred to me that maybe I shocked my opponent just then, trying to suppress c5, kind of strangulation strategy, and I took him by surprise. So yeah, maybe sometimes it has an impact. The threat of strangulation is stronger than the execution of strangulation, maybe sometimes. Okay. All right, so knight e5, something to bear in mind anyway. That style. I think if you're playing someone very, very tactical and resourceful, or an evil junior in general, I think the strangulation style is pretty good. If you're playing against evil juniors, I think it's got a lot going for it. I don't think they expect it. I think they expect more concrete ways of playing. So anyway, so knight a4 to c5, maybe knight a4 to c5. So have any of you on the chat strangled any juniors recently? On the chessboard, that is. Anyone? Own up if you enjoyed it. Oh dear. Okay, I seem to be playing in a fairly planless way at the moment. Fairly planless. I have nothing to do here, nothing exciting structurally. I've got a weak e4 square. I seem to have some problems here constructing a plan. rook e3. I think actually, coming to think of it, I think that's why Kasparov had some problems with Karpov in their first encounters. I just don't. I think he might have underestimated the Karpovian style of play. And I know he kind of switched from the Tarrasch, which maybe led to isolated queen's pawn scenarios, which allowed some counterplay removal. I think he switched from Tarrasch to Grunfeld. Okay, so can I play c3 here? I'm in trouble. Queen at f5. It looks as though black's got too much pressure for my comfort zone here. Actually, yes, there's too much pressure for my own comfort zone. Okay, this rook e2 is a pain. If I played king f1, how much trouble does that represent? King f1. I wonder if it's troublesome. I think it seems initially plausible. Queen f5, bishop g3. I think it's plausible. There's only one shared file. Why did I have this pawn structure dynamic? I don't usually have such a boring exchange French pawn structure dynamic or lack of dynamic as here. And it's opposite color bishops. It's like we're playing a world championship game here. We've got features of a world championship game going on here. Opposite color bishops and symmetrical pawn structure. This is not the material for Banter Blitz. Okay, maybe f3. Oh, my a pawn is being attacked as well. I'll do something about that. That's very naughty. f3. Rook e1 later. Okay, I'm going to play f3. And then, as he was actually on e2 anyway, something like this is grovelly. This is just grovelly. Hang on, has he got an invasion on a3 coming up as well to make matters worse? Or if he ever took on b3, bishop d6, queen e7 might be dangerous. Okay, if we just got the things off for a moment, do I even get the queens off here? And try and win some ending. Right, get a pair of rooks off. How exciting! Put the king on f2. Get the queens off next. I know this is. Hang on, I'm going to lose to bishop c2 at this rate. Okay, I don't want to lose to bishop c2 particularly. If I start putting pawns on dark squares away from the light square bishop, maybe a5. a5, and I'm 50 seconds down. If I lock down over here, I have zero prospects of doing anything. Is that right? Okay, we'll see. Okay, looks as though. All right, this looks absolutely prospectless position. I'm just thinking he has got some pawns on dark squares over here. I'll need to inflict a strategic pawn break to maximize my bishop, something like g5 later, or to get some outpost squares going. Okay, that's fixed on the dark square, that g5. Can I fragment the pawn structure? I'm threatening f5. It's only 30 seconds though as well. Alright, so he's got a fragmented pawn structure now. Can I work on f6 as a target? Okay, can I get a pawn majority with g5? If he plays f5, I've got a pawn majority. Otherwise my king's coming. I plonk my bishop on e5. It looks fairly solid, his fortress don't think I can crack this, but I'll give it a go. Maybe I should put my pawn on h6 just in case, because the bishop f3. Right, it is his turn, right? Can I pre-move h6? So he goes for my pawn. I'll go d2, I think. I go around here. He's dropped a pawn. He's dropped a pawn. What's happened here? Well, that's good news. Now I'll go over here. Okay, I think it's a fortress anyway, even after he's dropped a pawn. But it's a little bit trickier. No, I think it's a draw. I think it's still going to be a draw. Yeah, I don't know how I drifted into that. I don't usually drift into totally symmetrical with only the e file. I don't know how I did that. I just want to recap how I did that. What happened there? There's no dynamic to the pawn structure. There's absolutely no dynamic to the pawn structure. Okay, well played. Very solid. Very performed. Very solid performance. Area 51. Okay, Area 51. I'll try King's Engine attack. So it's a 3-minute game. That was a 3-minute game last week. So King's Engine attack. So I've looked at some Fischer games in much more detail than ever before recently, because I also reviewed King's Engine attack. Okay, so knight move or h4, maybe h4 to provoke h5. I don't mind the idea of a piece sack necessarily with knight g5. I think that would be good entertainment value. Knight g5. It's only a knight, as Mikhail Tal says. Who cares about knights? For a couple of pawns, always worth it, as a general rule. So h6, queen h5, or f4, g4, f5, f4, f5, f4, g4, f5, knight h2 to g4. Okay, maybe f4, g4, g5. The way he's played it, I think h6 wasn't working because of there's a few issues there. So here, would he dare take on g4, or is he allowing me two connected pass pawns with g5, which I think would be good compensation anyway in their own right. So he stopped the two connected pass pawns. What do I want to play here? Queen h3, if e5, f5. Queen h3, knight g3, king f2, rook h1, that sort of thing. Queen h3. Queen h4 runs into my queen being attacked. Okay, I'll go with queen h3. I think with f5, I don't mind that e5, f5. Okay, he's blockading at the moment. It does look sensible what he's doing. He's using up a bit, burning a bit of time though. All right, there. Okay. Yes, I think I blundered that pawn actually, to be fair. This isn't clever. Alright, king h1, rook g1. This isn't that clever. Knight f5 might be going to try and activate this bishop. Knight f5. Right, there is an idea of rook g6, so bishop e4 with idea of rook g6. Oh, there's rook h4. And bishop h3, rook h4. There's still an idea, maybe rook g6 coming up. Although he's pretty shielded there. Knight g6, fg, king h6 or king h8. He's pretty shielded. My king's more kind of weak here, it seems. Let's just check this again. Is rook g6 not doing anything? Unfortunately, I don't think it's doing too much. Can I undermine this center? Although my diagonal is now weak as well. I wonder, rook g6 in reverse. Okay, is rook actually going to d4? Oh, rook g6 here looks a bit juicier. To win a knight. If nothing else. Okay, so d takes, knight e5. Has got rook f2 coming up. Rook g1 for queen g3. I think rook g1 just put some pressure. If I played bishop g2 here, so bishop e4. Oh, oh, the things are falling off. Oh no, h5 is falling off. I think I'm doomed. h5 is falling off. He's not going to allow bishop e4, surely. He plays rook h5 here, unfortunately. Okay, is d5 better than de? Bishop e4 to start off with. Alright, so there is maybe a threat or two emerging. Bishop d5 trying to skewer the knights. Or king f2. I think king f2. Reserve bishop d5. There's also rook g6 here. This one trying to keep some tension. So rook h7, then try and skewer the knights. Bishop d5. He's trapping my knights in. Try and dissolve pawns. Try and leave him with 2 knights to mate me, which would be tricky. If I could leave him with 2 knights to mate me against my king, it's my bailout clause. I'm going to try and use a bailout clause. Bishop e4 and king a5. Hope he hasn't got a check here, which is a killer check. Oh, okay. I didn't like that game. I really didn't like that game. I don't like trying to struggle for a draw based on 2 knights versus king. It's not my favourite cup of tea. Well played. Well played. Well played. Okay. Oh. Okay, Cobra. I think 2 knights versus king when you've got 10 seconds and the king's not being checkmated immediately is going to be tricky. Although I thought that's in trouble tactically as well with forks and stuff potentially there. So, I'm shaken, but maybe not totally stirred. Okay, from that game. Try and regroup for this game. Okay. I just pin for the moment. I've decided not to use the H-pawn for this game. It's on holiday. The H-pawn is on holiday at the moment. Okay. I don't know if rook e8 is handy for something. Don't tell me he's got knight e5 or something. Okay, what's this about? Is he aiming for knight e5? Hang on, knight e5, I'll just take on e2. I thought earlier knight e5, knight c6, but again, that's not... to me, it's like he's got one less centre pawn in a way. Instead of controlling a central square, that's why I'm a bit surprised. I'll try and keep a blockade on a5 here. Because I think there's less grip on the central d5, for example. That pawn... Okay, there's a 2-to-1 here. Okay, a bit of a trade-off scenario. A 2-to-1 here, but less central pawn power than earlier. I wonder, bishop g6 and bishop a5. Okay, he's hitting that bishop. I'll put it there. Hitting d3 for a moment. Is it possible? Okay, bishop a5, there's knight c4, knight b3. So knight c4 looks to be in line with the 2-to-1 pawn majority. Say knight c4, what about bishop c5? Is that plausible, bishop c5? Okay, I think h6, just because knight h4, I want to keep the bishop. Knight h4, bishop h7, I want to keep this bishop for a moment. Now, is it possible that bishop a5 could be more of interest? It keeps the blockade and it keeps a perpetual threat at the moment until the knight moves of bishop c3, which could be handy for something, I'm sure. Like a4 later. Could a4 be weak? Okay, that weakening d4, finally some dark square weaknesses to play with. Bishop b6 here, a bit of probing. Now that he's done that, to stop f4, okay. g5 would be a radical way to stop f4. I think I'll use that. And try and get a grip on the dark squares with knight g6 to f4. If g3, knight h3, I'm on f2. Knight f4 seems comfortable. There's no a5 still. Knight d5 might be plausible. I don't really want to play c6. He's got the pressure on the b file. I'd rather allow knight d5. Anyway, this contests d5 in any case a little bit. Also, d3 is going to be weak. e2 will drop off. It's even worse. I'll just take it and take on e2. So I think I'm comfortable with the position now. Knight g4? Isn't that just knight takes d3? There's a weakness of the last move. My 3-point checklist, weakness of the last move here. Knight takes d3, weakens e4 as well. I can also take on b2, weakening the dark squares. I think that weakens his dark squares. This wins another centre pawn. Okay. I think knight c3, asking for g4 and bishop d4 later. Or is that too airy for my king? Is knight f6 better? I don't know if knight f6 or knight c3. f5 is illegal. d5 is losing a pawn. I think knight c3. Okay, let's set it up for bishop d4. How would I set it up for bishop d4? Get away from the checks and play for g4 and bishop d4. So g4 is the incoming threat, I believe. He has got something like knight e5 if the rook was on d1. Maybe rook d1, queen f6. It seems pretty solid on against a5. It's solid. Okay, so queen f6 against knight e5. I'm still renewing g4 for bishop d4. So no a5 just yet. So g4 incoming threat for bishop d4. If I want to win the exchange, I think that's favourable to win the exchange. He's got to get off this configuration, surely. The a pawn is there for the taking. I think I will take it. Maybe rook f4, then g4. Alright, thanks for the game, Cobra. Okay, yeah, that was interesting. The mechanic. Okay. Hi. I'll try well, given Magnus Carlsen's now taken over chessboard, I'll celebrate Magnus Carlsen with the Norwegian defence, I believe, in this game. So how would I do that? It starts with g6, and then there's knight f6 to put the knight back on g7. I thought it was pretty dangerous. Does it actually work well here? I'm hoping at least to get the f5 square. Okay, this variation I'll go d5 and knight e4. I've seen him play it like this. If they don't play for that immediately, I think this is interesting. I tried the Norwegian defense, but it didn't go for the immediate e5. So I'm trying to study Magnus Carlsen at all time controls at the moment. I think some of his most creative openings are at bullet chess, believe it or not. Or maybe that's kind of logical. The faster the time limit, the more risk that could be taken. Okay, it looks as though, why can't I just have this sort of French defense style position with the double pawns? Okay, is there dynamic play for white? That's the key question. Knight c6, queen b6, putting pressure on d4. Bishops doesn't have to be imprisoned here. I just thought that's a key difference. Queen a5. Now if bishop d4, bishop d2, I'm wondering queen a2 even. Or cd, can I not just win a pawn there? This is intriguing. There's rook b5, there's bishop b5, there's bishop d2. Maybe there's things like a4. I mean, there's all sorts. I don't know what the opponent's going to play. It looks a bit like some hybrid thing of the French. I'm trying to improve on a French defense. Why can't I? Okay. Queen a2 is super greedy and probably unjustified. I'd probably lose my queen soon after that. c4 with the idea of bishop f5 and queen a4 seems cozy in some respects. I'll probably need b6 though. Has he got e6 coming? Okay, let's assume e6 isn't a killer move just yet, and I'll try and assume my queen's not being trapped. So on those two assumptions, bishop f5, queen a4, and it reminds me of some sort of French defense torture line of the winnower a little bit. Bishop f5, queen a4. Would he have things like g4 though? If he's got g4, no, he's not going to do it there with that pawn on h4. So it looks as though I've got bishop f5 and queen a4 incoming as an idea. And maybe e6 to stop e6 from white, whatever happens. So e6, queen a4, bishop f3, e6. Okay, I want to aim for e6 and queen a4, I believe. Alright, queen a4 would stomp out a4. Mad Magazine bumper stickers, stomp. I had some of those, I just remembered. Queen a4 and stomp out a4 from white. So I'm on c2, I've stomped out a4. Okay, so I want to play e6 now with the possibility of bishop a3. If rook b1, bishop c2. If rook a1, bishop b2. If rook b1, then bishop c2 after. So I'm aiming for bishop a3. The downside controversy of bishop a3, if his bishop ever goes on these dark squares after, if I win the exchange. The way he's playing it with f4 though, I'm not entirely convinced the exchange sacrifice would be sound. If I lose the light square bishop, he would have some counterplay later on the light squares with the bishop. But it does seem a lot to win here, the exchange and the c2 pawn. Mind you, it is just picking off a double pawn. So probably the key risk is the bishop colour I'm going to lose. He's going to have a bishop of a certain colour running rampant later. My king's in the centre. It doesn't seem that unsafe in such a locked up position. If I was going to try and convert the exchange, maybe I'd start with ideas like king e7 and then playing for b4 like Botvinnik, the old days of Botvinnik. I think I will take on c1. Let's see, queen c1, queen c2, queen a3 to go into d6, queen d2, queen d6. Maybe knight e7 there. That stops queen c6. Alright, so what is he doing here? Queen c2 looks just annoying. Okay, king e7 or castling queen. So king e7 clings onto f7. It seems safer. There's bishop d5 for e6. Okay, I get that. Bishop d5 for e6. There's f6. It's not that. There's rook f2. There's queen d3. If I castle kingside, it looks to be asking for something there. Oh, there's also bishop a3 check. Okay, so it is dangerous on the dark squares. Probably I need to go for this plan b5 or put the queen back on a4 just to stop bishop a3. I think I'll stop bishop a3 as high priority. Or take on a2. While I'm there, that gets another pass pawn for the endgame. Oh, being greedy here. Am I? I just wanted to stop bishop a3 really. That's the main intent. Bishop d5 d. Okay, so just stop bishop a3 again. If I want to stop bishop d5, how about knight e7? If I have knight e7, rook f8, knight h7, I could sack the exchange and just aim for the 2-0, 3-1 pawn majority. Just offering an exchange back, otherwise knight f6 might be dangerous after. Oh, he's going to have bishop a3. This is getting dangerous. Oh, God. I thought that move was legal. I've just played rook b5 instead of taking the rook. I just assumed... Oh, okay. Okay, I can explain that. I look sometimes at what the opponent is threatening. Instead of thinking, there's a lazy evaluation. Just take the thing that's threatening all the threats. Sometimes I'm addressing the thing that's making all the threats instead of... I'm addressing the threats of the thing instead of just taking the thing. Yeah, it was just... Yeah, it's a bad habit. That's a bad... There's a bug in my play there. Just exposed just then. There's a bug in my play. Okay. I'm just thinking, oh... threatening my queen, move the queen. Yeah, it's a bug in my play. Obviously, he's just resigned that, just seeing that as I'm a computer or something. I'm not. I'm just looking cautiously at what the opponent I think is threatening. Sometimes. Okay. Am I going to be fried by FIDE today? Let's see. Knight c6. Or h5. Oh, I don't like it already. It's tricked me already. Some sort of horrible hack attack. Why does he trick me like this? I can't get into an interesting opening now. c5. c6. Okay, I don't have to castle into it just yet. c6 and b5 might be more concern to him if I don't castle just yet. So I have a dreaded perk defense, which is the last thing I usually want out of an opening appearance. b5, e5, knight h5. Maybe that's plausible. b5. Early b5 here or not. To b5 or not to b5, that's the question. b5, e5, knight h5. I don't know. Doesn't look convincing to me. If I castle... Okay, bring it on. Castle queenside, hack me to death. Let's see. It's all going to be... I need some tactical resources here. Okay, he's not castling queenside. I'm going to go for it now. B4. Okay, there's something achieved by this. I believe there's something achieved by this. Knight bd7, c5. If e5, there's knight d5 now at least. So I want to play knight bd7, c5. Would he be aiming to win a pawn? Oh, that's ridiculous. Would he be aiming to play d5? That's plausible, but he's weakening dark squares here. Right, so queen b6, a dark square sort of campaign is emerging. Put some pressure on the dark squares, undermine the dark squares. a5, a4, a4, a3. Trying to undermine these dark squares. Slightly happier with the position that I've got something to do with a3. Try and undermine this structure. a3. Is he concerned with a3? Should he be concerned with a3? And so rook takes. Do I want the queens off? Maybe I get the c5 square. Probably do want the queens off. Can't move the rook because of d3 just at the moment. Now e5 is probably incoming. Is there knight b6? Bishop b3. The knight's probably better on c5. Unless rook c8 immediately, bishop b3, knight c5. I think I'll do that immediately. For knight c5 to play knight takes b3 potentially. e5, e5. Is that a concern? Okay. Let's think about this. Knight b3 might be worth, yeah, putting a pawn on as a target on b3 for knight c5 again. There's also rook a3. And there's knight e6 as an idea. Can I play bishop d5 here? There's knight f5 check. Does that matter? G takes, knight f5, king f6. Alright, I think I'll go with that. Rather than suffer with knight e6 check with the pawn on d5 coming there. Okay, what is he doing with that? I can hit his rook. There's a check. Gaining a tempo. I've got a passed pawn here. There's bishop e6. Try and push my passed pawn. No rook e6 at the moment. I want to play b3. Or king f6. Is he going Oh, okay. I played b3 on rook b7, surely. Okay, I'm going to lose my precious b pawn at this rate. Okay, that's interesting. Why did he do that? Why would he do this? Don't get it. Bring the king out. Has he got... He hasn't got a perpetual or something, has he? There's queen e5 on king h2. Okay, no, that was I don't know, somewhere lost the thread there. Okay, thanks for that. A Spectra. Play King's Engine attack. Again. So in a way it's okay, it's different to the Smith-Morra Gambit, clearly. It's a different personality to this opening than that. But we've had a lot of Smith-Morra Gambit, so a bit of variety overall for these sessions, for opening choices. I think c3 is okay, kind of okay. Yeah, okay, so knight f1 to e3 or something. Let's see, actually, I haven't really got a clear-cut plan at the moment. Maybe g4, knight g3, maybe. It's not that convincing, but it's something. g4. For knight g3. Alright, finally, can I play a move like e5 or will I be in big trouble? I'm going to risk e5. Is this idea f6? I like the bishop being blocked. He has got a fast attack. I've got f4, f5 now. Thematically, surely. Or does he play f6 at some point? Unless I've got anything faster than f4, f5. Some sort of arrangement, knight h5, g5, queen g4, knight f6. I think I'd rather go with the thematic looking f5. And maybe knight h5, f6. Knight h5, f6. Rook f1. queen f2 to g3. Okay, there's all sorts of little attacking plans emerging here, I believe. This structural attack doesn't terrify me right now. Especially if I can arrange something concrete on the king side. I don't know about f6, g6. Bishop g5 to f6 takes knight f6. Some sort of bishop g5, queen e3, knight f6, that sort of thing, I think. So I'm going to probe the dark squares around the king here. Queen e3, knight f6, gf, bishop f6 threatens queen g5 mating. And it also balances c3 a bit as well. bc, knight a4, queen e3, protects c3. I've still got this idea, knight f6, gf, bishop f6. If the king, I don't know if the king runs somewhere there. Bishop e7, queen g5 check, king f8. Alright, we'll see this in action now. Queen e3. So I'm hoping for knight f6 basically being effective. He has got things like h6. Do I need to do it right now, knight f6? He's got h6 as a defense. Can I like king h1, rook g1 later? I just want to run through f6 again. g6, knight g7. What would I attack if he just left that knight on g7? It's like nothing. Or is it? No, hold on a sec. f6, g6, there's bishop h6. g takes bishop f8. No, that can't be the case. f6, g6, knight g3 with the idea of bishop h6. That can't be. No, I don't believe that could be allowed, that form pawn. I don't believe this form pawn should be allowed. It's just a question. Bishop h6 might not exactly work. G takes, bishop takes, check, king e8. If I just do this slowly for a moment. So bishop h6 here without any piece sack. His queen will get back to a dark square or not. Doesn't seem that bothered at the moment. Okay, I can protect. I'll protect c3 with this rook actually, just to free the queen. So I'm thinking bishop h6, queen d8. Then knight h5. G takes queen g5, and then bishop g7. Knight h5 is not exactly threatening anything. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. Is h5 too slow? It might be the case this is too slow. No, I still haven't got anything concrete in mind. With his rooks on my second, knight e2, king f2 for rook h1, hg. What about that? Trying to peel open the h file slowly. So king f2 and rook h1. So he's going to get more solid, it seems. Okay, the knight's held by the bishop. I'll still go with king f2, rook h1. Alright, stop 2 pigs on the 7th. Bishop d3 is, I don't really like that. Let's get ready to unpin with king g3 for knight f4. Bishop d3, rook b2. If I get ready to, we'll play knight f4. I'm hoping rook h1 is going to be effective. It's not letting me go on this side of the board. Okay, hg then. Let's hold that pawn for a moment. Oh, it's pre-move time anyway. It's pre-move time. Uh-oh. No, not there. Okay. Yeah, with like less than 20 seconds, no increment, I think one has to start moving quickly at that point. Okay. I thought I'd have something there, but didn't we just play earlier? Area 51. I think I should really decline that. I think we played earlier, just to give other people a chance to play. Chessy 99. I'm trying to discourage. Okay, so if I played, okay, what would you do here? H5? No. Okay, can I play H5 then? Okay, I'll take that. Then knight F1. I'm thinking here knight H2 to G4 and then H6. He's always got F5. Okay. There's pressure here building up. Can I swap off this bishop or something? Let's put the form pawn in. And knight H2. Alright, so bishop c3 here. Try and get rid of this bishop with f4. Try and get the queen back on the diagonal with knight g4. So f4, take off the bishop, use the form pawn, put the queen on diagonal with knight g4 in mind. I might be able to accelerate things with the use of b2 here. If I had to say b4, bishop takes, queen b2. I guess there's always f6. It's not a big problem. Okay, do I want to take it off? I'm weakening my d4 considerably. If I played f4 and I took it off, d4 is extremely weak. Don't see. Alright, king h1 just to get off this diagonal for a moment. Because it seems as though c4 is also a concern. Okay, so knight c6. The concern is if I took, he's getting a very nice knight. Okay, that is a dangerous knight anyway. That's a right pain. Okay. Is there f4 for knight g4 at any point around here? Alright. So d4. It might be affording me b4 at some point with the knight on d3. No, that doesn't look convincing. Better to dissolve it with dc. Better to dissolve it. Right, so bishop c4, queen e1. Was knight d3. Knight d3 falls to rook d3, bishop d3, bishop h8, queen c3. That's a little trap. It's not that easy to spot in a blitz game. It's a forcing move sequence. Rook d3, bishop h8, queen c3. It's tempting to play knight d3 here. Does he do that? Pretty tempting. Does that work? Okay. It's got it covered anyway now. Alright. How about bishop f1? Just trying to get control of d3 now. Is that, I don't know, knight f1, knight f3? If I play queen f1 instead? Or f4 round about here? There's rook a5 as a forcing move. Hang on. Is that any good? I can get to play, I don't know, is f4 any good coming up? There's knight c6. Okay, if I play rook a3, I guess he's got queen c2. Okay, do I play... Alright, queen c2, there's rook d2 though. Hang on, let's just see this. Queen c2, rook d2. Okay, back over here. I think I'll allow... Do I allow knight d3? I can play queen e3 to stop knight d3 for a moment. Now I'm running into knight c4 tactics. Is f3? F3, is that... Okay, is that an idea or is that just too weakening? Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure. It's a target, isn't it? I'll just put it back for a moment. He's got too many forcing moves. For my comfort, knight f3, for example, too many. He's got pressure on e4. I don't like it. Maybe queen e2 or something. He's got queen e4 for knight f2. Sorry, Pod, I'm just in the stream up. Oh, okay. At least, okay, I'm going to try and develop this knight to e3 at least. There's some h-file dynamic, isn't there? After I lose another pawn. Can I take a pawn with rook d6? Oh, I just blundered the rook. Okay. Blundered the exchange. Or rather, he won it. So queen h6 immediately. We've got knight e3 to g4. Ouch. I played, yeah. Tough one. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was tough. Oh, that was pretty tough indeed. Okay. I'll try and regroup for this game. Sammy Sam. There was a lot of pressure throughout that. I was very uncomfortable throughout the game. To my opponent's credit. Okay. CD. By E5 here for E4. Maybe knight E5 for bishop G4. If bishop E2, knight D3 check. So I think knight E5 coming up for bishop G4. So I think I like the look of knight D3 check here on bishop E2. Alright, so knight takes b2, hence the queen. I can probably take on e2 and come back to d3. Let's check, come back to d3. Probably pre-move that. Save a moment. So rook c8 and knight d5. Okay, rook c8 pins that knight anyway. So knight d5. Maybe not here. Bishop e5. Bishop e5. Maybe. I'll take out this. I should be looking for light square play after taking out with my bishop a knight. Light square play. I think that's an interesting idea. to look for. Knight f4 check here, though. Oh, knight d5. This rook c3 for knight d5 in any case, or just knight d5 coming up, but rook c3 and knight d5. Alright, thanks for the game, Sam. Okay, Moby Chess. This might be the last game because it's it's getting that time. I hope you've enjoyed the banter session today. I don't know if you want to vote now. One fun, 10 boring. It's been pretty tough today for me. A lot of tough challenges. I'm going for f4 as a threat here. Okay. I think g5 anyway. Knight, sort of knight g6 for g4, h5, that sort of thing. Looks tempting. Or even maybe nicking that pawn. I don't really want to do that actually. I want to focus that over here. I don't want to take pawns. I don't want a reputation as a pawn grabber too much. Okay. But anyway, he's protected it, thankfully. I don't have to think about that. Okay. That's one less decision. So g4, h5. With the idea of crunching the bishop with h4. Actually, I think a knight might have to go to d4 here. So it's more of a more important thing here at stake. Dark square. No, he's got h6. No, I don't. I should avoid taking the pawn, I think. Maybe just, as mentioned, h5, as mentioned. So I did h4. So h4 is, it seems plausible here to play h4. There's, I don't know, some compensation. Piece sack, bishop g4, hg, fg. Maybe there's some compensation which should be factored in. Okay. So bishop g4 might be the best bet on hg, fg. Oh, okay. King h7 in this particular position looks okay. That bishop's still trapped. In fact, I think I prefer this to what I've just mentioned. I don't want my king to be that weak when I'm with material, especially on faster time control. So the king doesn't look entirely bad this way. I think this is plausible with idea bishop g4, bishop h6. So again, a key tempo there. Bishop g4, bishop h6. Key tempo on the queen. I'll go with that simplification. there is an incoming bishop f5 to factor in, which can I take off at one pair of rooks for the moment. And threaten, actually, I just realised, no, rook f7. No, queen e3, but rook f7, I don't know if I want to allow that. On the other hand, bishop f5 seems a menace. Knight e5. d4, knight g4. Okay, if bishop f5, queen g5, then d4. Okay, I think I'll start with this one. Maybe, maybe bishop f5, queen g5, as mentioned. d4, queen e3. The queens come off. Knight c4 after. The bishop would be interrupting the rook, going to f7. Okay. Yeah, I'll try and threaten the exchange of queens. I'm covering f7 now. So threatening queen e3. I'll go with the queens coming off, I think. And knight c4. There is rook f8 if allowed, but it's a check. Okay, rook f8 is dangerous anyway. Coming up, oh, there's bishop e6 there. Maybe away from the light squares, king h6, bit of prophylaxis, away from the light square disasters, king h6. Stronger on the dark squares. The king's usually safer on dark squares if you've got the bishop without the counterpart. Keep the king on dark squares in general. So king h6. I think it's safer. It looks pretty safer, much safer. Let's say rook c7, rook f8, threatening rook f1. That's awkward. Can't move these pawns that easily. Alright, so knight d2 here. I'm not losing a piece there, I believe. Alright, so bishop f8, not rook f8 because of this. Rook takes f8. That's no. I can even do that. Oh no, I can't. I can. I'd be a piece up. Bishop f5. That's not optimal. Rook f8. Bishop takes g6 though. It's not optimal. He's got a lot of pawns here. In fact, he's got every pawn. Okay. Anyway. All right. Thanks, Moby. Right, yeah, thanks. Alright, okay, I hope you enjoyed this session. Have a good rest of the Sunday, and see you next week. Thanks for coming. Thanks so much. Cheers then.